Tokyo Joe here. I'm coming at you live from Tokyo Midtown, Tokyo Tower, in the land of Japan, friends. Today, we're going to talk about not a Gaijin blog, but an article written by a Gaijin who I believe is in Japan. I don't know, but it sure looks like he is here in Japan. Written by a man by the name of Mr Gundlach. Now, looking at Mr. Gundlach's Twitter account, it looks like, which you can all follow if you want, at Hoofin, Hoofin, www.twitter.com/HOOFIN, Hoofin. Alright. It looks like he's actually back home. But he has an interesting article. And the article is called, and you can all check it out, the link below, Japan as the country that allows its foreigners to self-regulate. And you know what that means. That's the top. Right? Japan is the country that allows its foreigners to self-regulate, comma, and you know what that means. Very interesting. He has been discussing some issues around, apparently there are some mean, weird Gaijins. And by the way, if you want to know why Gaijins in Japan get weird sometimes, check out my other video, Gaijin be Gaijin. Gaijin versus Gaijin. Manners for the foreigners in Japan. Check out my series of videos, friends. You'll see what I mean. But he says, quote, I want to wrap up some of the recent discussion here. The common pattern of the topics that have been hitting the J-Expat blogging community go again and again to this observation that there really are no rules in the Japan side expat world. Interesting. What is. Whatever you can get someone to believe, much more so than outside of the bubble. That is very deep, my friend. In fact, I don't think I ever read a Gaijin article with such a deep introduction. So let's continue. I have previously blogged about two people who are recently getting ripped apart on the net. They have their own take on it, and even if the actual goings-on are one or two removed from that, they have their own compelling stories about how Japan basically allows these free zones of foreigners to do whatever they feel like, short of physical violence or high crime against other foreigners. I am talking about garden variety torts, some kind of cakes, I don't know, defamatory language, cheating on contracts or deals, and the like. Interesting. You think this is true? Is all this stuff allowed to happen? I don't know about that. I don't believe so. The actual participants may be here or there, and in some cases this is cross-border stuff going on with the only connection to Japan. But in the end, it comes down to the point that in Japan, when it comes to foreigners, there really are no rules. Image over substance. Well, my friend, Mr. Hoofin, Mr. Gundlach, that is a very interesting point you make. Is this true, do you think? I don't know. Let's continue. Continue with the article to give it its full context, right? I kept thinking today about this fellow I had met there several years back who was the sole representative director of a company, even though he had left Japan, i.e. a fly-in. Right. So even though it was total bullshit that he could be off writing emails on another continent as representative director, he just did it. He said it and it was. So I say, so it is. Well, that's a different issue, isn't it? I believe, as you point out, a public company, Kawashiki Kasha, must have at least one representative director resident in Japan. Well, I don't know. I mean, what's that got to do with the way people attack each other on the internet over Japan, friend? You know that the remarkable amount of American petty tax cheating that goes on in Japan is coming from this same idea. I have said so much about that before. Right. The "so I say, so it is" phony rule that was made up in the community was you don't have to file unless you made over $80,000. The reality is that you only get that exemption if you file. Otherwise, you are subject to Uncle Sam's less progressive tax rates on your lower earnings and only get a credit for what you pay in Japan. But I would point this out, and no. Well, this is a very interesting topic. And I don't know whether or not Mr. Gundlach is correct on this, because, as I understand it, only a person who is qualified as an attorney can actually speak about these matters. But hey, I don't know. All right, continuing. I never watched a TV show, but there was one stateside when I was in Japan about people voting other people off the island, etc. Now, look, I believe this has something to do with this article is dated February 10, 2012, by the way, links at the bottom, right? And you can read the rest of it there. I will later review Mr. Hoofin'S blog in a further podcast, but today let's concentrate on this article. I believe that this has something to do with the business relating to Fucked Gaijin and Chris Johnson. I think it has something to do with that, friends. There was a big hoo-ha, a very big hoo-ha about the business of the Gulag Gaijin article that appeared in The Economist and elsewhere on the internets. In fact, if you would like to know about this, please listen to my other podcast where I review the site Fucked Gaijin. Right? I think it's called Gaijin Blog Review Fucked Gaijin the Tokyo Forum Podcast. Take a look, and you can see all you need to see about that issue. But interestingly, Mr. Gundlach, Hoofin'S, has another post about the Fucked Gaijin website. He says, and this was posted only yesterday, friends, it looks like, he says, Fucked Gaijin website does shut down after all. Right? On a tangent, quote, on a tangent, I know that the BBS was popular among the Japan side expats as an online romper room. What I don't know is why it decided to shut down. As you may know, there are several websites that have gotten religion, so to speak, about what they do in the community, or a social network of people focused on foreign to online dialogue in Japan. I have pointed out that certain individuals and sites seem to be no holds barred. Fucked Gaijin had a reputation for that, but I didn't really frequent it. Well, friend, you missed out on a lot. I almost always avoided the BBS format. The trolling is even greater than with the people who screw with you if you blog outside of a social network, microblogging, Facebook, etc. One thing is for sure, this is still quoting from his article, one thing is for sure, that someone must have had the goods on the people behind the side. I don't know, friend. Let's talk about your article here about what's happening here in Japan on the online community. Friends, people are allowed to have an opinion, and this may come as a big shock to you, right? A very big shock. But it don't matter if the opinion disagrees with yours. That's the beauty of living in an English-speaking country, friend. That's the beauty of having a host somewhere in the United States, friend. It's called the First Amendment, friend. People have the right to freedom of speech. Now, of course, if people are cheating each other or people are saying really bad, untrue things about others, can harm their reputation, that might be different. I don't know. And I'll tell you something, you probably don't know. I don't know Japanese law, do you? How well do you know it, friend? What I know is this. In my many years of experience here in Tokyo town and elsewhere in the world, friend, people who want to shut down conversations are nothing but a duck's fart. That's right, you heard me. They ain't nothing but a duck's fart, friend. Because let me tell you something. What you're trying to do, if not you, but if a person tries to shut down a good conversation about the real issues affecting the community, they ain't nothing but a Mao or a Stalin, friend. You want to be a Stalin or a Mao? I don't think so. But I know what you're saying. You're saying that in Japan, foreigners are allowed to self-regulate. Really? Except in some circumstances. Well, I ask you this, friend. Really? You really think that's true? Friend, it ain't true. Foreigners are allowed to seek redress in Japanese courts as much as anyone else. Right? In fact, today on the internets, if this stuff travels over the airwaves to other countries, you could probably seek redress in those countries too. So I don't think it's completely unregulated, as you say, friend. But I will say one thing. Free speech is important, and the Japanese blogging community deserves to know what's going on. Otherwise, friend, if you want to live in a duck-spark totalitarian nation that shuts down conversation, and everyone's got to be, kind of toe the line, toe the party line, and you've got some kind of, cognitive dissonance because everyone's got to be, you got to mind your manners. You're not allowed to say tall people are tall, and you're not allowed to say that people who've got a Bachelor of Arts in bullshit have got a Bachelor of Arts in bullshit from bullshit university, and you're not allowed to say that little Susie and little Timmy are too short to be on the roller coaster, and you're not allowed to say that because I've been living in Tokyo town for 30 years, I might know a thing or two more about Tokyo town than you do, or you're not allowed to say that. No, siree, you ain't allowed to say that, friend. Why? Because I said so, and I'm a Gaijin in Japan, and I want to protect my reputation of being whatever it is. Friend, the free market of ideas is too important for all that. So little Susie and Timmy, I don't care a duck's fart. If they're too short to be on the roller coaster, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to open my mouth and say, little Susie and little Timmy are too short to be on the roller coaster. Hey, they might be embarrassed. Nothing an ice cream later can't fix than good old Uncle Joe, right? But I'll tell you something, free speech is more important, even in the Gaijin community, friend, than practically anything else. Okay, please rate, subscribe, comment, give me a thumbs up. I'd like to hear your comments, and remember, friends, I live for your comments. I will not censor a single one of them. That's a Tokyo Joe guarantee right there, friends. So please make your little notes and write your little comments, and I promise I will not censor no comments, friends. That's a Tokyo guarantee. Please visit the forum, www.tokyoforum.tk. Follow the Twitter at the Tokyo Forum. Check out the article I linked to from Mr Gundlach. Very interesting read. Maybe you, Mr Gundlach, can post a video response or a comment here telling me what you think. Or at the Tokyo Forum, join the forum and make a post. We don't censor no comments, friend. Okay, everyone. Please subscribe, rate, and share the video. Take care, everyone. Off to some Suntory Hibiki whiskey from me. Bye for now.